Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about differences between Australia and Poland. So these are all going to be subjective to me because these are my experiences. A lot of other people may not have them, you may not agree with them, but please just bear in mind that these are my opinions and no one else's. Australia uses AUD, so Australian dollar, and Poland uses the zloty. I don't even think I pronounce it correctly. So the difference is it's Australian dollar equals 2.7 zloty, I think. So if you're coming from Australia to Poland, it's good. Like money-wise, you're going to be gaining money. If you're coming from Poland to Australia, you're going to obviously lose money. Measurements. Okay, so I went shopping when I first got to Poland to try and buy myself some new underwear and just like some new clothing that's a little bit more businessy, because since I've been in Rome, Florence and London and all that, it was a little bit warmer. So I went in to buy some clothes and I was thinking like, cool, I know what size I am, I've got it all down packed. Got there and forgot that there's different sizes in Poland than in Australia. So they do all the same things otherwise. They've got kilos, kilograms, centimeters, meters, but when it comes down to clothing, it goes from size like 6, 7, 8 and so on to like 36 and to like the actual numbers. It's fine with feet because I know my European size, so size 10 Australian is size 40 in European, but I don't actually know what my size is in European clothing. Meal times in Poland, it's so strange. I remember for the first month I was hungry all the time because instead of having like breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, Poland has like breakfast, you know, somewhere, and then like their lunch is more like 10, 11, and then like the dinners are usually like not dinner. They call it like something else, I think like supper or something, and it's about 2 to 3 o'clock, and it's usually large. And then what they do is they have small meals later on. So in Australia we have a small meal, and then at like 7 o'clock we have the large meal. So it was really hard for me to go from having like a big meal to like a little meal because I was snacking all the time. Polish people and picking mushrooms is the funniest thing. The first 2 weeks of being here, I was like not really weirded out because I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but I just found it really funny. Like I'd be riding my bike or like walking down the street and these people would just walk out of the forestry with bags and like cane baskets full of mushrooms. And it was so strange. Like I'm thinking like, okay, I'm walking alone, I'm completely safe, there's no one around me, and then out of the blue, people with mushrooms. So like for the first few weeks of being here, my friend and I were always just joking about Polish people being like mushroom people, potato people, and cabbage people. And I don't mean that in an offensive way because Australians obviously have their own things as well. This was just like 3 things that Polish people seem to love eating and love picking and growing. Avocados here are so cheap. So like avocados in Australia are $7 at the moment, or they were like around $5, $6 to get one Hass avocado. Here you can get avocados for like, I think it's 4 to 5 zloty, which is like a lot for an avocado in Polish money, I guess, for me anyway, but it actually translates to be like $2, $3. Like that's so cheap. Okay, in Australia, if you go to a restaurant or any kind of cafe or something, typically it's always really common to have free water. If you go to a club, it's also really common to have free water because obviously if you've had too much to drink and stuff, they want you to sober up, so they'll give it to you for free. If you want to buy it in a bottle, then you do have to pay, but like not really anyone buys it in a bottle. In Poland though, no matter where you go or what you do, you either have to pay for the sparkling water or the still water. Now I've noticed that a lot of Polish people love sparkling water. For me, I absolutely hate gas in water. Like having any kind of bubbles in my water, it doesn't taste like water. They only use one male Polish voice to dub. So I would prefer to watch in Polish with English subtitles than to watch something where I can hear English as well as Polish man like talking. Like it's really funny. When it's your birthday in Poland, instead of singing happy birthday and being like happy birthday to you, people sing like 100 lat. Like 100 lat is like a 100 years, 100 years, 100 years you live. So instead of like happy birthday to you and like saying the person's name and their age and kind of like getting to the point about their birthday, they sing it very differently. I've been told that they use that to also like kind of congratulate you on other things as well. It's not just your birthday, but I mean, I might be wrong and the person telling me might be wrong. So if you know if that's correct or not, definitely please let me know. So the holidays are a little bit different and interesting. So they've actually got Grandma Day and Granddad Day. So we don't do that in Australia. We don't have that kind of day whatsoever. We've got like Mother's Day, Father's Day, and that's it. I may not know because I'm not really, I guess, as exposed to some things in Australia, but I definitely don't know of any holidays like that. They celebrate Names Day. So Polish people celebrate Names Day. So not like the day that you were named when you were given birth to, because I remember for like the first month I was like, oh yeah, so like, Mum, when did I first get named? Like, when is my Celebrate Names Day? No, that was the most idiotic thing I've ever thought of. Literally, like, since the Polish people really go off traditional names, they've got like a lot of the same names. Anyone that's like got that name, they all celebrate on that one day. So like you've got like Pavel, Kamil, so on and so forth. Like they'll all celebrate. This is what I've been told anyway. They all celebrate their names day. So it's kind of like a second birthday in a sense. I think it's kind of funny. So like in Australia, you've got nicknames. So you've got like, for example, I'm Shanae, my nickname is Nay or Nene. But like in Poland, they actually have nicknames that are completely different. So you've got like Alexandra, can be like Ola. I think there's also like other variations of it as well. But it depends on like, you've got your formal name, you've got like your, I think it's like informal name, and then you might even have like a sweet name. So one of my Polish friends was telling me that you can have a name for when you're like being called by a loved one, so like a cute version of your name. It's never going to apply to my name because Shanae isn't really common in Australia either, so I don't even have like a Polish variation of my name. So when it comes to names, so Polish people, like if they were to come to Australia, they have to realise that they wouldn't be able to legally do many things, I don't think, for each other, because what they do is like the male keeps an I on the end of the name and the female gets an A on the end of their name, because the Polish language has gender, whereas in Australia everyone will have the same name in the family, you know. So if you were to go to Australia and be like, hey, I need to change this bank account for my husband or my wife, this is their name, they would need to like see some physical evidence probably of you getting married, because having those letters on the end of the name different from, this is what I'm assuming this anyway, it would just mean that you're not actually like properly related, like, because it's a different name altogether, you know. It's like I can't even think of a Polish name that ends with A because I don't know how to pronounce. So definitely like keep that in mind. Wedding rings. So in Poland, people wear their wedding rings on the right hand and not the left. In Australia, we wear it on the left. So for the first few weeks of seeing and like working with a lot of people, I couldn't tell who was actually married and who was older or anything like that, because I was so confused on why they only had the one ring on the other hand. And then finally I asked them and realised I think that might be pretty common in a lot of European countries to have the ring on the like other hand to the left. So Christmas time here is really like traditional. They have 12 dishes at Christmas, and then one of them is actually carp fish. So in Australia, I think it depends on every family on how they're going to celebrate. It's not so much a tradition, but usually everyone gets together, and in my family anyway, we get together, we have like a nice meals, not 12 different dishes. I mean, like that's a lot for us. And they also like, we don't eat carp fish. Carp fish in Australia, when I've gone fishing before, if you catch a carp fish, you actually have to like leave it out of the water because it's a pest. So if you leave a carp fish in the water, you're actually kind of going against, I don't know if it's a fishing law or if it's just like a code my parents run by, but like you have to either leave them out of the water or you just don't eat them. They don't taste nice, they taste bad. I forgot to mention that Christmas is kind of the 24th in Poland as well, so their special time that they have all their 12 dinners, meals, English, there somewhere. The special time that they have all their 12 meals is actually on the 24th of December and not the 25th. So in Australia we might have like a get together on the 24th, but it's not really a big day, but the 25th is the actual Christmas and the big day. and then you've got Boxing Day on the 26th. So they don't celebrate it quite the same. They actually have like a few days off over that time, whereas we still have stores open for the most part in most areas, so you can still go shopping. Going to the doctors in Poland, I had to do this recently, and it was a very interesting time because I had a lot of really bad things happening, and obviously with the language barrier it was hard enough, but push past that. But I didn't understand the whole like make an appointment at this time and not actually get to go in at that time. So in Australia, if you go to the doctors and you make an appointment, let's say you're going to the doctors at 12, you have to be there at like 11:40, 11:30, you tell the receptionist you're there, then they wait in the reception room and the doctor will come out and call your name, you'll go in and have your appointment. Here, everyone just like lines up and they've got like little seats out the front of the doctor's thing. You don't actually see the receptionist at all, you go straight past them. You go up to the, like this one that I was going to was 2 stories, so you go up the top and if you don't speak Polish it's a little challenging, but I kind of just guessed my way through it and I tried to speak a little bit to everyone. A lot of people come up to you trying to ask you questions about like, are you waiting in line? Who is next in line? And if you don't understand them, you might have an awkward situation where they'll go in front of you because you didn't clarify. But I think at most it took me about, one of the days took an hour and a half. An hour and a half just to get to see the doctor when my appointment was at, I think it was 10. So I waited till like 11:30, then by the time I'd gotten out, because of using Translate and not always understanding each other, it took about like an hour in there, so I felt terrible for the people waiting behind me. But it's a weird layout, you know? No one really sticks to a tight schedule. I think what they do is they stick to a certain amount of people or something when you book. So from what I was told anyway, this doctor's surgery has like a reserve of like 20 people that can go in, and then, you know, like I think you can go on top of those as well, but they're like the major spots. It might be different at different doctors, I'm not sure. If you know how that works, please like let me know. I don't really understand it yet. I'm still trying to kind of get my head around the doctors and the hospitals and all of that really. But it's all like an interesting challenge and I'm willing to do it. Driving. Oh, driving's a big one. So in Australia we drive on the other side of the road. So it's weird because I haven't driven in Australia since last August, so my brain is a little bit like, how do you drive in Australia again? But your car, usually you drive like your wheel is on the opposite side of the car as Poland. So everyone was like, Sinead, how are you driving in Poland? Like, is it dangerous? Like, are you going to crash? Like, do you know what you're doing? And honestly, it wasn't that hard because I haven't driven in Australia for a month before leaving, so I'd already kind of put it in the back of my mind. Not that I've forgotten how to drive or any of that, I just kind of stepped back from it, so it wasn't as weird for me going from driving every day in Australia to driving every day in Poland. So that was really good. So I actually haven't had any problems. The only thing I've done while I've been driving is just forget to change the gear with the right hand. So like usually you'd think, oh, she might drive on the wrong side of the road, she might like not stop the lights. No, that was all easy. The only thing I do is I'll be driving along and I'll go to change the gear, and instead of doing it with this hand like I normally do in Australia, I would do it with this hand. So when I'm driving, I will literally get my hand and get ready to change gear and like hit my hand on the door because silly me forgets that I'm driving a different side of the car. So it's not that bad. I honestly think the changes and the differences on the road isn't terrible. The lights are a bit different to Australia, and obviously some of the roads are laid out different, the turning lanes are a bit different, but otherwise like nothing's that different. Openly staring in Australia, depending where you are, what culture you're from, everyone's going to stare at you. There's always going to be people that do it, but it's not as open, I guess. They're kind of trying to do it discreetly, so like if they're staring at you and you catch them doing it, they'll try to like look away. Here, if they're staring at you, which I do get a lot, they'll stare at you for a good 10 minutes before even blinking sometimes, and then finally they look away. And it's insane that like, I don't know, I don't think they're trying to be rude at all. I think it's just because they don't understand that in Australian culture, or even just like different places, it's a little bit like rude and it just comes off different. Here it seems to just be built in with how they are. It just seems to be part of the culture. It's mainly old people though, like it's the elderly, it's not so much the young people. The young people will obviously like give you a second glance, but that's fine. But you're just gonna bear in mind, like, who cares at the end of the day? If they're gonna stare at you, get over it. If they're gonna not smile at you, smile anyway. Why not smile and be nice? Why not like say hello to people even if they're like, what the hell? You may as well try to be that person that is making someone else's day better. So I think I've covered everything. Hopefully I've put all the points in and they all make sense. If there's any differences you know of that you think I should know, definitely comment below and let me know, or email me some interesting differences. I'm always curious to learn new things, and if there's anything you don't agree with, I'm very open to having debates. And keep in mind that obviously this is all going to be stuff that's relevant to me. It may not apply to you. So hopefully you enjoyed it and have a fantastic weekend.